On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, Mr. Satan was plotting to blow up Majin Buu and become the savior of the world.
Not quite finished cooking your dinner yet, sir.
But when his target returned with a newly found friend in distress, Mr. Satan discovered a compassionate side of Buu and decided to make an appeal.
Why do you fly around, killing people and destroying all our cities?
Boo wants to
Watch football? Anything as long as it doesn't involve destruction. I'm just kidding. You can do whatever you want to the world, just don't hurt me.
Is to kill people a bad thing?
Yes, it is a bad thing.
Then no more.
You're not gonna kill people anymore? And won't destroy any more cities? I did it. I got this guy to change his ways, and I didn't have to throw a punch or blow him up. Oh, Mr. Satan, you are truly the greatest.
But just as soon as Boo's heart began to be softened by the love of his new friend, tragedy struck when a deranged madman ended the puppy's life in a senseless act of hatred. It was the end of a new beginning for Majin Buu. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, a new friend was helping Majin Buu discover happiness on Earth. But tragedy struck when a deranged gunman shot the innocent puppy. His next target was Mr. Satan, Boo's only other friend in the world. Devastated by the loss, the childlike Majin Buu made a desperate attempt to restore Mr. Satan to health. Miraculously, Buu succeeded, but a horrible conflict started raging within him. The good had taken root, and the evil had to be expelled. And in a giant puff of steam, Majin Buu rid himself of the wicked tendencies that had once plagued him. It seemed as if Buu had won the war. But when his nefarious vapors started assuming physical form, it became clear that the true battle with his dark side had only just begun. In a blazing flash, the evil Majin Buu was born. His first business of the day was to pay tribute to the murderous gunman by giving him a taste of his own medicine. Then it was time to face his goodly counterpart. There can be only one. Which of them will survive the Battle of the Boos? On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, it was the war between the Boos, as Majin Buu had to battle his evil counterpart, whom he had expelled from his very being.
Boo make you chocolate!
Lacking the brute force needed to win, Buu tried an unconventional attack, only to have it backfire on him. Buu had turned good, but now he was good to eat. And in the end, he became a tasty treat. But this was no ordinary candy bar. After eating it, the bad Buu had a violent change to undergo. To Mr. Satan's dismay, the friend that he had come to know was gone, and a new Majin Buu was born.
I don't believe it. Look at him. He's even meaner looking than the last one.
With the newfound ability to sense energy signals, Majin Buu headed directly for the lookout.
He's here! Look, don't attack unless he attacks one of us first. Got it?
Look out, everyone. Majin Buu is crashing the party. And with Goten and Trunks sound asleep, and Gohan tied up in the power-raising ceremony, it looks like the new Buu is going to have his way with the people of the Earth. What demented plans does he have in mind? Stay tuned. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, a strong new version of Majin Buu, now dominated by hatred, arrived atop the lookout. And when Piccolo could not produce the challenger who had been promised, Majin Buu unleashed a horrific power, the Human Extinction Attack. Out of the entire population of Earth, less than 20 humans now remain. It was a blow that would lay heavily on Piccolo's conscience.
Human extinction attack. How do you like it? Now where's the strong one?
I see. Yes, we just need a short time to prepare him. He can be ready in 1 hour if that's okay. Please, Boo.
What's an hour? How long is it?
Realizing Goten and Trunks were not strong enough to fight this altered form, Piccolo has managed to buy 1 hour's time. Time that will be stretched to its maximum as the two young fighters enter the hyperbolic time chamber for final desperate training. Will Piccolo's daring plan succeed? Previously on Dragon Ball Z, after destroying most of the Earth's population, Majin Buu was led to the hyperbolic time chamber earlier than expected, demanding that he face his long-promised challenger.
Those kids.
That's right.
But with minutes bought by Piccolo's bold distractions, the boys had enough time to perfect their fusion training.
This is the end for you, Majin Buu.
Let's begin.
And in a blinding flash of light, Majin Buu's challenger was created. Gotenks had returned. The war for planet Earth's few survivors has begun, with Gotenks at the helm. But still, Majin Buu stands unscathed.
So much for the plan. After that kind of attack, he's not even bruised. I'll just have to show him a few of my secrets.
The battle continues today. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, the malicious new form of Majin Buu unleashed his human extinction attack, bringing the Earth's dwindling population only a handful away from zero. Tired of the effortless plunder, Majin Buu desired only one thing, a fight with his promised challenger. And in the hyperbolic time chamber, that's exactly what he got. So the battle began. Majin Buu versus Gotenks, the cocky fusion of Goten and Trunks. Drawing from the borrowed week of training inside the time chamber, Gotenks deployed an onslaught of never-before-seen and somewhat juvenile techniques.
Hold on!
None of them worked, and Gotenks was forced to fight more seriously. After revealing he could power up to Super Saiyan levels while already in a fused state, Gotenks prepared for his favorite new trick.
It's new, so sorry if it's a little sloppy. A super ghost kamikaze attack.
The fate of the empty planet hinges on the strength of a child, and with the imagination only a child could possess, Gotenks has delivered, producing what is perhaps the most bizarre technique in Z-Fighter history.
What is that?
Now, as the battle within this altered time dimension rages on, two important questions must be asked.
Ready, Boo?
Who will claim victory in this fight between Gotenks and Majin Buu? And secondly, what in the world is going on?
You're dead. Super...
Last time on Dragon Ball Z, Gotenks took aim at Majin Buu with his peculiar new technique.
Now for the big finish. I'll be legendary.
Strangely, the fused warrior spat out 11 ghost-like copies of himself, all of which created a lethal explosion on impact. Initially, Majin Buu evaded the kamikaze attacks, but in a clever move playing on his appetite, the monster was had. However, Majin Buu survived. And that's when Gotenks made a grave mistake. Wanting to prolong the fight in the belief it would be more impressive, Gotenks fooled Piccolo into thinking he had run out of energy. Deliberately, Gotenks did not reveal his most powerful new technique, hoping to increase the suspense. And just before Gotenks could unveil the surprise attack, Piccolo made a rash decision. He has destroyed the door to the hyperbolic time chamber, trapping them inside forever. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, in a rash attempt to save the Earth, Piccolo destroyed the doorway to the hyperbolic time chamber, trapping himself, Gotenks, and Majin Buu inside another dimension. But in a screaming rage, Majin Buu accidentally ripped a hole in the fabric of space itself, using the powerful vibration of his voice.
I knew I could have my candy.
Fueled by his monstrous appetite, Majin Buu went to great lengths to escape, leaving Gotenks and Piccolo as the victims of the Namek's own trap. And the friends and family atop the lookout were left without any protection.
What do we do now?
With nothing left for the Z-Fighters to do but watch in terror, Majin Buu laid waste to them in the exact way he had done the entire world.
Very dark.
Then, Gotenks revealed a surprise ability he had foolishly hidden during the fight, Super Saiyan 3. And ripping a dimensional hole of his own, Gotenks and Piccolo returned to the ruined lookout.
Where is everyone? What have you done to them?
They're in me.
Ooh, you'll pay for each one.
With only Gotenks and Piccolo left, has Majin Buu cleared the way for victory? Find out now. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, Majin Buu made a terrifying escape from the hyperbolic time chamber and set his sights on the unprotected friends atop the lookout.
No more talk. I've heard too much of that. Now let's just eat.
With the same horrific method he used to wipe out the people of planet Earth, Buu transformed the remaining crew into chocolate and devoured them. Meanwhile, trapped inside the hyperbolic time chamber, Gotenks ascended to Super Saiyan 3, and using his newfound powers, he forged his own amazing escape back to the lookout.
Ooh, you'll pay for each one.
And it's there that the battle raged on. Piccolo could only watch in shock as the hallowed lookout was smashed into pieces.
Hold on to your socks, Majin Buu.
And Gotenks, using the incredible powers of Super Saiyan 3, was able to subdue the monster with another peculiar technique. But a giant blast of energy now shows that the true struggle is only beginning. Can the two best fighters left on Earth prevail? On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, Gotenks, the super being formed by the fusion of Goten and Trunks, had achieved the level of Super Saiyan 3 and was giving Majin Buu the fight of his life. The seemingly invincible Buu had finally met his match. But when the fusion began to wear off and Gotenks had to power down, the situation went from bad to worse.
Let's not be too hasty.
Until finally, to their dismay, the duo came unraveled.
Hey, wait! You're there! The fusion must be over!
But when it seemed that all was lost, Gohan completed his power raising under the dubious guidance of the Elder Kai and unleashed a sample of his newfound ability.
the last time I'll get to see you. Until you make your journey over to this world. You ready? Show him what a Saiyan's made of.
Yeah.
And just as his father had so many times before, Gohan arrived on Earth in the nick of time. After supplying him with a new uniform identical to Goku's, Kibito left the new savior alone to contemplate his mission. Look out, Majin Buu. Here he comes.
This is it.
On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, an incredible force descended from the sky. Piccolo and the boys thought it was Goku, but it was none other than his son, Gohan. And with the confidence of his father, Gohan arrived at the scene to fight Majin Buu, the seemingly invincible enemy who had annihilated the entire population of the Earth.
So, Hotshot, you want to fight Majin Buu?
Fight you? No, I want to kill you. And without even transforming into a Super Saiyan, Gohan took control of the battlefield in commanding fashion. Hi, nice day. Yes, it was a nice day to subdue the subduer, to destroy the destroyer. Majin Buu's evil deeds had finally come back to haunt him. But is the battle really over? On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, Majin Buu became furious when his every attempt to defeat the powered-up Gohan proved useless. Gohan was clearly the superior fighter, and it seemed Buu's destructive spree would at last come to an end. But the crazed Buu put an abrupt stop to the fight by turning himself into a living bomb, apparently trying to take Gohan with him. Gohan survived, and in the following calm, lost friends were reunited.
You're alive. I don't know how you did it.
But a dark cloud on the horizon put a damper on the reunion as Majin Buu returned from hiding only 1 hour later. And delivered a puzzling request.
Come on then, little worms. I want to fight you now.
That is not gonna happen. You're fighting me, Buu. You got it?
What happened, boys? Don't tell me you're scared to fight Buu. You were raring to go before.
What sinister trick does Majin Buu have hiding behind his back? Find out now on Dragon Ball Z. Last time on Dragon Ball Z. Using a strange sneak attack, Majin Buu ensnared both Piccolo and the freshly fused Gotenks. And absorbed them into his body. Knowing he could not match Gohan's newly acquired powers in his present state, Majin Buu opted for a transformation, incorporating the powers of Gotenks at Super Saiyan 3 and the combat wisdom of Piccolo. A new Super Buu was created. And because it merged Gohan's childhood teacher, as well as his little brother, it was a Buu who knew Gohan all too well.
What do you think of it? New clothes and a few new abilities.
If you're using Piccolo's brains, you know you've got 30 minutes until this newfound strength of yours diffuses.
I assure you it will be over before then, and I didn't absorb you because I needed a punching bag. I kept you around because I'm stronger than ever, and I have to try it on someone.
Sounds fine. I'm all yours. Let's do this. And so the battle with the newest incarnation of Buu began. And where Gohan had previously been in total control of the action, he was now struggling with all of his might just to stay alive.
Remember, not so long ago, I was the one hiding. I needed time to stall. Is that what you're doing now, Gohan? Your beloved Piccolo is a part of me. And I can sense that you're alive down there, kid.
Will Gohan have to fight this battle for Earth totally alone? Find out now on Dragon Ball Z. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, Majin Buu absorbed Gotenks and Piccolo into his body, transforming himself into a new Super Buu.
You can't hit me.
Possessing the strength of Gotenks and the wisdom of Piccolo, it was a form that not even Gohan's awakened powers could stop. With both physical and psychological attacks, Majin Buu chipped away at Gohan's Achilles heel, his confidence. But Gohan knew the weight of Earth's survival had been placed on his shoulders, and like a true Saiyan, he refused to give up.
Still alive. Well, I guess I'll have to make sport out of smacking you around.
But Gohan could not hold out for long. And elsewhere, desperate new strategies were made. On the Supreme Kai's world, the Elder Kai gave up his own life so that Goku might live and fight. And that's not all he gave him.
Now simply have Gohan snap this one onto his right ear. Immediately your bodies will be bound together and much stronger. My type of fusion.
What is the secret to this new fusion? Could it really be the answer the Z fighters need?
What are you doing?
Previously on Dragon Ball Z, the Elder Kai gave Goku an empowered set of earrings, allowing him to perform an instant, effortless fusion. But there was a catch. Whoever wore the matching earring would fuse with him forever. Back on Earth, the supercharged Majin Buu tried to destroy the remaining survivors with one terrifying blast. But thanks to a timely arrival by the revitalized Goku, Buu's attempts were cut short. Down but far from out, Majin Buu quickly incapacitated Tien, who had returned from seclusion to play his small part.
He was off guard!
And pulling himself together, Majin Buu ready to battle Goku head-to-head with powers that not even the Great Saiyan hero could stop.
Here, catch!
Aware of the desperate odds, Goku threw the Kai's earring to Gohan, deciding to save the Earth by merging permanently with his son. But Gotenks' fusion wore off inside Buu's body, causing a sharp drop in the monster's power. Goku chose at the last minute not to go through with the fusion, and that's when Buu made his move.
Gohan!
Just as he had done with Piccolo and Gotenks, Majin Buu absorbed Gohan into his body and gained his incredible power. Now, Goku must convince someone else to fuse with him, a task that may prove very, very difficult. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, Majin Buu reached an all-new level of maliciousness. He had already absorbed Gotenks and Piccolo, taking their power and wisdom and transforming into a mighty villain. But when he sucked up Gohan as well, it gave him a virtually unstoppable edge. Goku planned to fuse with Gohan using the Kai's earrings, and so had to watch his best chance at victory be taken too. And then came another.
Vegeta! All right! It's you! I knew it!
Thanks to King Yema's intervention, Vegeta was back from the other world. Immediately, Goku tried persuading him to join in a permanent fusion, but Vegeta bore just as much resentment toward his old Saiyan rival as ever, and firmly refused.
Everyone is gone!
But in a passionate speech, Goku asked Vegeta to lay down their troubled Saiyan history and look towards a future on Earth. And a bold decision was made.
Here, give it to me.
You bet!
To the end of the Earth. All right, it's on.
Great. Thanks, Vegeta.
And so, the last living Saiyans, whose bitter rivalry has stretched over a decade, have dropped their swords and fused permanently into a new warrior. The great battle begins. Last time on Dragon Ball Z, in a dramatic move using the fusion earrings, Goku and Vegeta joined bodies to battle Majin Buu. Permanently united as one, they became the warrior Vegito, and they focused all of their strength on Earth's ultimate threat. A monster once thought unstoppable, Majin Buu at last began to weaken under the Saiyan combo's attack.
But if that's the way you want to play this, then fine.
Anxious to test the limits of his new opponent's power, Majin Buu created a giant energy ball. Made with energy fragments from every planet the monster had destroyed, it was a blast capable of splitting the Earth in two. But for the confident warrior Vegito, it was just another sporting challenge to overcome. Now, having warmed up his new body and tested the fighting abilities of Majin Buu, Vegito has decided to turn the battle up a notch. Calling on the greater powers of Goku and Vegeta, the incredible fused warrior has gone Super Saiyan.
Call me Super Vegito.
On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, the mutating monster, Majin Buu, found himself totally outclassed by Super Saiyan Vegito, the radical warrior formed by the fusion of Goku and Vegeta.
Still hungry, Boo? Curse you! Eat this!
It was a hard pill to swallow for Buu, who had dominated every opponent thus far and decimated the entire population of the Earth. But to Vegito, an amalgam of the two greatest Saiyans that ever lived, the universal giant of evil was a mere plaything in his hands. The simmering anger at his own inferiority worked itself up to a boil, and Majin Buu flew into a rage that shook the very foundations of the universe. As the temporal boundaries between dimensions began to be compromised, Vegito had to either stop Buu's radical power surge or bear witness to the destruction of the entire physical cosmos. But in true Saiyan style, Vegito pierced Majin Buu's defenses and prevented the horrible cataclysm from taking place.
Well, if you ask me, that was a little too close for comfort. But have the decency to learn your lesson. There's no way you can ever beat me, unless you'd like to try that technique you've been saving.
On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, Majin Buu continued his all-out assault on Vegito. But whenever Vegito found himself in a tight squeeze, he always seemed to have the answer.
Hey, don't get so down in the dumps. You've won every fight you've been in.
Everyone meets their better sooner or later.
No, I won't lose. You'll see.
When it became clear that brute strength would not work against Vegito, the desperate Boo gave up the ghost and resorted to a more unorthodox method.
Fool! Mock me while you can! Super Kamikaze Ghost Attack!
With ghostly Kamehameha waves on one side and the Gallic gun on the other, it looked like curtains for Vegito.
So it's a silly kid's game, huh? Well, bug off!
Too bad it's not permanent. It's a nice improvement. You're using your eyes instead of feeling where I am. You don't like to lose, do you?
It was a hurting time for Majin Buu, who couldn't even land a blow on the mighty Vegito.
It's up to you. Do you want to continue or not?
But was the fight really over?
I like your style. You're going to make great candy.
In a flash, the devious Majin Buu played his trump card, and Vegito, the seemingly invincible Super Saiyan tandem, was reduced to a coffee-flavored sucker. Buu had managed to turn the tides once again. On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, Majin Buu restored Vegito to his humanoid form after a painful bout with a calamitous candy.
Oh, it's me again.
But big or small, the pain remains the same when dealing with the synthesis of Super Saiyan legends.
Is this how you want it to end, huh? So much for the tough warrior.
When his last desperate attempt failed, it was time for the final countdown. Vegito had had
Take
enough.
10. I'm going to count to 10, Boo.
But rising like dough in a hot oven was a perfect recipe for disaster. Silently, it stalked its prey and struck, consuming Vegito in one swallow. Had Majin Buu done the impossible and against all odds toppled the greatest fighter in the universe? On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, no sooner had Vegito landed in Majin Buu's stomach than he was blown apart. The one had become two once again. And the search was on. Goku and Vegeta were looking for their sons who, along with Piccolo, had been absorbed into the inner workings of Buu. But this rescue mission could only work if the rescuers managed to stay alive. Into the deadly gastric juices they plunged until Vegeta created an ulcer through which the duo made a narrow escape. But one peril led to another in this living house of horrors, and the Saiyan team was attacked by millions of deadly acid-bearing organisms. And when these little guys bite off more than they can chew, they summon the big boss who comes to finish off the job.
What? Look out! Son of a Namek, what is it?
I don't know!
Kakarot, it's the slime! The creature is communicating with it! Get rid of it, quick! I can't!
On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta and Goku were searching Majin Buu's head for Gohan and the others.
Okay, use your instincts, Kakarot. Right or left?
I'd have to say left.
Good. Then I'm going right.
That's not very nice.
You follow your instincts, Kakarot. I'll follow mine.
Fine, have it your way.
At last, good fortune seemed to be smiling, but Gohan wasn't. Had Goku really found his long-lost son? No, it was an imposter.
I can tell by looking into your eyes that you're not my son.
Vegeta was battling equally dangerous thought creations. One had assumed the form of Piccolo in this funhouse of evil.
Fool!
The other had taken on the familiar form of Gotenks to carry out Buu's twisted purpose.
Fighting both of those idiots at once is pretty tough. Where is that idiot clown when you need him?
But even with Goku's help, the duo had no chance against an enemy that couldn't be destroyed. But lo and behold, when Buu's concentration shifted to sweets, so did his thought forms. And precious time was gained to resume the search for their sons and Piccolo.
Now, where could they have gone?
Over here. Take a look.
Could it be? Did Goku and Vegeta find their boys at last?
Hey!
Previously on Dragon Ball Z, deep in Majin Buu's head, Goku and Vegeta found the pods that housed the captured Z fighters, and they made another startling discovery as well.
You don't like that idea, do you?
Majin Buu in his original form.
Yes, I see that. But what does it mean?
Who knows? How could he absorb himself? Doesn't make sense. Wow, this is deep. Two Buus. Strange. Maybe there were two Buus at one time, and this one lost.
Unlikely? Yes, but true. There had been more than one Majin Buu. And as Goku and Vegeta unraveled the mystery, the merciless pink monster decided to make a special guest appearance inside his own mind.
Who are you calling ugly, you ridiculous fool?
It was an all-or-nothing battle, but coupled together, it looked like Saiyan might had prevailed. And the two warriors astutely disposed of the last remains of the Buu within Buu. It was a job well done, to be sure. But was Majin Buu really gone for good?
Knock, knock. Who's there? Boo! Boo-hoo!
Oh, don't cry. Everyone has to die sometime.
It was a rude awakening, but the Super Saiyan duo was realizing the hard way that the worst place to fight Majin Buu is inside of his head, where his slightest whim can become reality. Is the Saiyan Prince bound to become just another hero in a pod, like the other tenants in Buu's Hall of Living Collectibles?
No!
Stay tuned. Previously on Dragon Ball Z.
Like what will happen if I yank this thing down? Please let go. If you tear those attachments, I won't be me anymore. That sounds interesting. Let's give it a try, shall we?
And so the cord was cut, linking old Majin Buu to new. And with another transformation mounting, it was now or never for Goku and Vegeta. They had to get out of Buu's mutating body, and fast.
Let's go!
last, the microscopic battle was over. Goku and Vegeta had completed their mission and safely delivered Piccolo, Gohan, Trunks, and Goten from their fleshy prison. But the duo's handiwork had spurred on another transformation. Boo was on the boil and in the throes of a maddening mutation.
Watch. He's about to change.
Into a better dancer, I hope.
Things were looking grim as Majin Buu seemed to be growing in size and strength. But when the dust finally settled, Buu had assumed a much smaller form than before.
You weren't worried, huh? You had white knuckles and you know it.
But was the threat really over? Kabito Kai doesn't seem to think so. What does the appearance of this new Buu portend? Previously on Dragon Ball Z, with Gohan, Piccolo, Goten, and Trunks in hand, Goku and Vegeta made a daring escape from inside of Majin Buu's head. It was a moment of triumph for the super duo. Never before had anyone managed to escape after being absorbed by Majin Buu. At last, the weary captives were liberated and laid down in a safe place to rest. But was anywhere safe? The new Buu was about to unleash an attack that would destroy the entire planet. Hey, Buu! The fusion earrings could help, but was it too late? Yes, it was time to abandon ship.
Vegeta, we'll grab the boys and use instant transmission.
Yes!
When Goku saw Dende and Mr. Satan in distress, he made a detour to save them as well. But what had he done? Now there was no time left to recover Gohan and the others. It was over. On the wings of instant transmission, they fled, just as the Earth breathed her last breath. Stay tuned. On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, Majin Buu was on a manhunt for Goku and Vegeta. And when his search led him to the Great Kai planet, life in Otherworld took a turn for the worse. Vegeta wanted to lure Buu away from the planet before he destroyed it, but Goku wasn't sure how.
Don't use your brain, Kakarot. All we have to do is raise our power levels and he'll come running.
Of course! Right.
Bruce wash you like bugs.
Hearing their call, Buu didn't waste a moment, but went directly to the sacred land of the Supreme Kai, where the battle is about to begin. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, Majin Buu touched down on the sacred world of the Kais, and the battle began. Goku was the first to enter the fray. Rather than attack Buu as a single fused warrior, he and Vegeta had decided to fight one at a time. It would be a one-on-one fight to the finish. The ultimate test for the ultimate Saiyan warrior.
Darn you! Where's your weak point? You're twice as strong as you were before. Your speed, your power, your recovery.
As Goku soon realized, if he was to win this fight, he could hold nothing back. Majin Buu seemed pleased by this new development, but does he really know what it means to do battle with a Super Saiyan 3? On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, the battle to decide the fate of the universe continued as Super Saiyan 3 Goku went head-to-head with the elastic Majin Buu. Goku fought valiantly, but the more brilliant the attack, the more demoralizing the result against the seemingly invincible Buu. It was an impossible situation of nightmarish proportions, one made to order for the unshakable Saiyan. And And after Vegeta had tried and failed to measure up to the same test, the proud Saiyan Prince finally realized that Goku was truly in a league of his own.
You're better than me, Kakarot. You are the best.
The battle rages on today. On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, it was Majin versus Saiyan as the battle that would decide the fate of the universe raged on. It was a trial of pain for Goku, but the darker it got, the brighter his light shined. And in classic style, he countered Boo's every attack. But as the battle wore on, Goku felt the power needed to destroy Boo slipping away.
I should have done it! Darn it! Now I'm weak. I'll need time.
I have got it covered, Kakarot. 60 seconds. Get what you need and finish him off.
1 minute. That's how long Vegeta had to keep Boo occupied so Goku could gather the energy needed to destroy him. But in this fight, 1 minute can seem an eternity. Has the Saiyan Prince reached the end of his rope? Stay tuned to find out. It looked to be lights out for Vegeta on the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, until the World Martial Arts Champion himself stepped in to challenge Majin Buu. The champ was cruising for a bruising, but when Buu tried to attack, he became crippled with agony, until he hawked up the source of his pain, that is, and spit it out for good. It was the gentle Boo. And now that his kind influence has been expectorated, the evil Boo was going to make Hercule dead. But wait!
Leave alone! Them Boos, buddy!
And so the battle between the good and evil Boos began. Meanwhile, Goku attempted to gather enough energy to join the action.
I need to relax. Let go. I'm way too tense.
It was a horrifying sight to see the great Super Saiyan 3 completely sapped of his power. Can there be any hope of victory now? Previously on Dragon Ball Z, Goku was having an energy crisis, but fortunately, the good Majin Buu was able to take up the fight when the mighty Super Saiyan lost his shine. But the kind Buu wouldn't last long. Something had to be done, and fast.
Hey, I know you've got a plan.
Yes, and?
Well, I hate to pry, but, what is it exactly?
Kakarot, how many times have you saved the world up until now?
What? How many? I'm not sure.
Then perhaps it's time to let the world fend for itself for once. Now, listen carefully, Dende. This is very important.
And so Vegeta's plan was put into action, and Muri summoned the dragon of the new planet Namek. With the first wish, the planet Earth was brought back to its original state. And with the second, all of its inhabitants were restored to life. But staying alive was the problem. What did Vegeta have in mind?
Let's do it. Now, it's time.
It's time? Time for what?
The Spirit Bomb.
That's your big idea. A spirit bomb?
On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, Majin Buu was on the rampage. But getting rid of his better half wasn't as easy as he thought. Meanwhile, Vegeta made a plea to the people of Earth for help.
Raise your hands up to the sky and offer a portion of your energy. We could use it to defeat Majin Buu once and for all. Yeah!
But aside from family and friends, no one would comply with his request.
Raise your hands up? Nah, let's go see a movie or something.
That was so weird. No kidding.
Are they mad? When are you going to grow up? Can't you Earthlings do anything for yourselves?
With the good Boo being crushed underfoot, the opportunity to form the Spirit Bomb was rapidly slipping away. Vegeta had no choice but to try again.
Hey, people of the Earth! Raise your hands up right now, or you're all going to die!
As humanity turns its back on Vegeta's plea, Goku's Spirit Bomb wastes away. Can the Saiyans get through to them in time? On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta decided to stick to the fighting and let Goku do the talking.
We need your energy now! Raise your hands up! I beg of you!
Many old friends offered up their energy when they heard Goku's plea, but the mass of humanity didn't join in until their beloved champion, Mr. Satan, asked them to lend a hand. At last, the wall of skepticism was knocked down, and mankind was freely offering their collective energy to help beat the Boo. Out it poured from the earth, arriving like a flood in Goku's hands. The Spirit Bomb swelled to massive proportions.
Here we go!
It was almost too good to be believed. Goku finally had what he needed to defeat Majin Buu. Just when time was about to run out, the mighty Saiyan was ready to aim and fire.
Here it comes, Vegeta! Now! Move away!
It was bombs away on the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, as Goku launched the Spirit Bomb with the full force of his being.
Maybe you'll come back someday, as a better person, I hope. I'd like that. Perhaps we'll have a little one-on-one.
It was time to say goodbye and send Boo packing.
Adios. I'll be waiting for you, Majin Buu.
Goku! Kakarot! Father! Goku!
There was nothing left to do except to beat the Boo. And with a resounding flourish of power, Goku wrote the final words in the chapter and closed the book on his old nemesis once and for all. At last, the war was over. Nothing remained of Majin Buu except the battle scars that he left behind. The universe was safe once again. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, the mighty Goku obliterated Majin Buu with his Spirit Bomb. The evil Buu was wiped out, but the good Buu was left to start a new life on Earth. But could he fit into society?
Go get your own.
That's from Pitbull Pete!
His quest for ice cream led him to challenge a street fighter, and his victory earned him a sweet payday. Boo had scored the mother lode. Everyone was happy. Except Bulma, that is. But was shopping the perfect cure? It wasn't until a pair of desperate thieves barged in.
Hey! You nice man! Give Boo money for ice cream!
Back!
But with Citizen Boo on hand, even the most dangerous situation seemed like mere child's play. Meanwhile, underneath a starlit sky at Mount Pao's, Goku, Trunks, and Goten were demonstrating the old saying that boys will be boys. And these boys were fighting back.
So you want to play rough?
It was a bathtub brawl to remember. But the naked truth was that Goku simply could not be beat. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, the wicked wizard Babidi resurrected the radically powerful Majin Buu. Though the misguided Buu eventually saw the light, his evil counterpart destroyed the Earth and had no intention of stopping there. With the entire universe in danger of extinction, the Dragon of Namek was summoned to bring the Earth and its inhabitants back to life. And in a desperate bid to stop Buu, humanity offered up its collective energy to Goku, who used it to form a massive Spirit Bomb. The future of the universe was now in his hands. At last, the nightmare was over. Once again, Goku had found a way. The curse was lifted, and now the story continues, 10 years since that fateful day. On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, much to the dismay of Bulma, the training continued and took precedence over all. A new World Championship tournament was about to begin, and the contenders were coming to the fore.
Grandpa, I just flew around the world again. Good, huh?
Yeah, I think that was your fastest time yet, Pan.
Think I'll be ready for tomorrow then?
Were the tough teenagers being upstaged by the tenacious toddler? And who was the mystery fighter that Goku had gotten wind of? Someone so powerful that even he was looking forward to the challenge.
Really?
No, I think this guy's really shrewd. We may have ourselves a challenge.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Hey, Boo, I'd like you to do me a little favor.
It's not like you to break the rules, Kakarot.
I know, but I really want to fight this guy in the first round. That way, we'll both be at 100%, and it'll be a totally fair match.
With a little help from Boo, Goku had his desire fulfilled, and he was matched up with a mystery fighter in the first round of the finals. According to Goku, the simple village boy named Oob was, in fact, a benevolent incarnation of the evil Majin Buu. But the boy wasn't aware of his true powers, and Goku wasn't beyond using insult or injury to coax them out.
My mom isn't fat! My family's not ugly! And my father's not a bad way!
And so the battle begins.
Let the training begin! Yes! No need to be polite. Yell! Let it go! Yeah! Once more. This time, let the whole world hear! Yeah!
Young Oob has been taken in by the greatest martial arts master in the universe, Goku, the orphan who fell from the stars to become the savior of mankind. As the two set off on a new adventure, one thing is for certain. As long as Goku lives, peace and prosperity shall reign.